Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to work on the sunroom. This room was one of the unique features of our home that I noticed when we were touring it to think about purchasing. It was originally the back patio of the home. The previous owners converted it into like an enclosed extra room. It definitely has a challenging layout because there are a lot of windows and entrances to the room, including an old window cutout that they just left. Today we're going to start by painting the tile floors. These tiles aren't like ugly or anything. They're actually like really nice tiles in my opinion. They aren't horrible, but they just don't have like the character that I would want them to have. And the long-term plan is to rip up all the tile in this room anyway and put down a new tile floor. I'm thinking like terracotta floors or something like that. So I figured in the meantime, in these in-between projects, to save money and to save time, I would just go ahead and paint them. I am following a tutorial from Abby Road Home basically to a T, and she's very thorough in explaining the process. I'm dealing with a much larger space than she was, and I'm going to see how long it takes me to do the pattern, but I think it's gonna add so much to the space. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Taking a nap, so I can't sand and vacuum the floors like I'm supposed to. So I'm gonna jump into working on my practice tile. I got this tile from Home Depot. It is 18 by 18 and my tiles are 20 by 20. So whatever pattern I do on it, I still kind of have to calibrate for my own tiles. This is the primer that I'm using for the tiles. It was incredibly expensive. It was like 70 bucks. It's superior to other primers apparently. So if I want the paint to stick really good, I'm gonna use this. So now that my sample tile is dried, I did Alpaca blanket by BEHR as my base. I'm gonna go ahead and stencil out my practice arches. Okay, it's already mid-afternoon and the day has kind of gotten away from me just with other things. I haven't even sanded the floors yet or done like the final vacuum, final clean. But it shouldn't take that long to do that, and then I'm gonna prime it. I wanna do 2 coats of primer. In the meantime, I worked on my practice tile. So here it is. I'm second guessing the color a little bit, but it is a really nice shade of brown. I'm also deliberating if I should keep the pattern that size. My tiles are on the bigger side, so I wonder if the pattern's like too big. Good morning. It is the next day. Last night I finished the second coat of primer and also went in with the first coat of my base color, which is Alpaca Blanket by BEHR. I'm using an eggshell finish for all these paints. So this is kind of how it's looking right now. Obviously needs another coat, so I'm about to start that. And then I'm going to show you one other thing. So yesterday on my practice tile, I was just doing 3 arches per tile and it just felt very big. The pattern felt really large for the space. So I went in, this is my practice tile. Don't look at the lines, they're not straight. I went ahead and did 3 rows of 3 arches each. So 9 total for each tile, which is gonna take forever, but I think it's gonna be worth it. And then I've kind of had a change of heart about which direction the pattern should be going. I was thinking of doing it this way because I wanted to make the room feel a little wider, but now I'm worried that it's actually gonna make the pattern feel stunted because it just ends here. So now I'm considering going this way. I think that might be the better option. So in Abby's tutorial online, she mentioned that painting over a stencil, like a hollow stencil outline, didn't work the best for her. So I took her word for it and I had my husband 3D print this, I guess it kind of is a stencil, but it's an outline instead. So I'm just outlining everything in pencil and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint it in. He also printed a second piece so that I can like draw full arches at once with a spacer in the middle that matches the width of the grout. So I'm waiting for that to finish printing and then we're gonna keep going. Okay, it's day 3, I think. Yesterday I got quite a bit done. This morning I'm finishing up this last section here. I put a poll on Instagram because right now I'm debating if I should do a second coat. Technically they all need a second coat, but because I did very intentional brush strokes, it gives it some texture and dimension and pattern, and I almost kind of like that because in Abby's tutorial she goes back in anyways and adds a little bit of depth. So I'm like, well, if the depth's already there, maybe I'll just leave it and it would save me time and I would just have to do little touch-ups, but then, you know, I would be done and I could just coat it and be finished with it. It's taken a very, very long time to do this, but I really enjoy the tediousness, if that's a word, tediousness of it. I'm about to go ahead and seal the floor, which is a little scary because this is a done deal at this point. I have this polyurethane that I'm gonna use. I prefer Verithane's polyurethane, but I've used BEHR's before and they're also good. So I'm gonna get started and lock this in. I'm gonna go in with a brush in the corners and the harder to reach areas and then use a roller for the rest of it. Sunroom project and seeing the process of painting the tile. It was so much fun and I'm just so glad we have a space to relax in, that this room that we never used before is being used all the time now. Being able to sit at my desk and have my morning coffee and look out the window while I work, having a beautiful workspace is just so good for my productivity, so I've really loved it. More to come in this space, it's not finished, and more things to come just all around in different spaces in our home. So I will see you in my next project. Bye.